Hello and welcome back. In the previous tutorial, we modeled some interesting 3D models. And now it's time to take them to the next level by adding materials and lighting. These elements are crucial to give your models the realistic look and feel they deserve. While today's focus on getting the basic of material and lighting setup, I'll be creating a full tutorial on materials and shaders later, where we'll dive deeper into the world of textures, shaders, and advanced material setups. As you can see, I'm in the render mode. Let's move our cursor to the corner and then we drag towards the upward. And then we change these to shader. Because we want to see any changes that we do in the shader, we will see it in the real time in 3D viewport. You already can see that this material that I named it gold is applied to 34 objects that I created in my scene. So, for example, if you create a material on one of these, you can hold on Shift and select multiple of these materials, and then press Ctrl and L, and then choose a link material, and this will be linked. Another way, all of these materials is linked to each other. So now if I just change any adjustment, you will see all of those will be adjusted at the same time. So let's hold on Ctrl and right click if you have no triangular setup. So I recommend you go to preferences and in the add-ons search for node triangular and enable it. It comes with Blender, which is free. And let's move these nodes here. And now we have just these material output. And you notice that all of these is connected together, linked together. So we press Shift and A, and we type in the search bar Principal BSDF, and you will see that it is in the shader collection. So if we just press Shift and A, we go to shader, and we will see Principal BSDF, which is applied here. So we have hair and volume, but we need this guy, and drag these to the surface. And as soon as you drag it, let's move these just out of the scene so that we can focus only on here. So as soon as I do that, you will see a very solid color and with this very interesting look here. So we can just go and change the base color to anything that we prefer. And then we have some other things like metallic wrap, and so we can't actually cover everything in these Principal BSDF, but a few of those. The first one is the metallic. So let's set it to 0 again. Set the hue and saturation to 0. And the metallic, actually, if I just play around, you will see what is happening. Metallic will work with the roughness. So metallic defines if the material is metal or non-metal. So when it's 1, it's actually metal, and when it's 0, it's non-metallic. And this will use for metals such as gold, silver, or non-metallic, like plastic and wood when it's 0. And combination of metallic with the roughness. Actually, roughness controls surface smoothness and reflections. And when it's 0, is very reflected, and when it's 1, it's very smooth. So the roughness when it's 0 will be used for glass, chrome, and when it's 1 is used for matte, chalk, and rubber. And then we can combine the metallic. Let's set it to 0.1 or 2 to see it much better. Of course, we can play around with the color at any time we want. So let's move this here. And we can create a very goldish look, such as this one. We can combine the metallic with, for example, sheen. If I just hold on Ctrl, you will start to see when I play around with the weight. The sheen adds soft fabric highlights on the edges, such as soft fabric. And then we can play around with the roughness of these. Of course, we can tint it with any color that we want. And you can see how it will affect. I prefer to use a white color and with a lower wrap. Or let's set it to 0. And another thing, we have the coat. Coat actually simulates a clear glass layer on top of the object. It can be used for car paint, varnished wood, and lacquer. So you can see if I just play around with it, and then we play around with the roughness, and let's change the color. You will see how it will affect these gold material. And then we have another very interesting things, transmission. So transmission won't work with the metallic, so we have to set it to 0, and instead we can open up transmission and we play around with it. So this transmission will work perfectly with the roughness, and as you will start to see how things looks like right now. The transmission is used for glass, water, and liquid more. And then of course we can play around with a coat, since this will work with it. We're gonna start to have a very nice effect. And we can play around with the sheen as well while we are using the transmission. And now you can see that we created a very nice and interesting highlighted around this. And of course we can tint it. So that's about the transmission. And now let's create that very nice goldish effect that we wanted. So let's press Shift and A, and we add a color ramp connected to base color. And with this one, we will decide the ambient occlusion and the color for these surface. Currently, we are using the transmission, so let's turn it off and bump up the metallic. And I want to set it to 1 or 2 level. So let's set it to 1 in case if I want to see more metallic of this. Of course, we have some other things like tint, and we want to use it less of this, and when it's 0, so let's use a little bit of this. And then we have the sheen. You'll see how it will start to look. It creates very highlights around these edges, and let's make it a bit warmer. Just a very subtle, like your edge touch. And now let's assign another node which stands for ambient occlusion. So you just need to press A and it will pop up. Connect the color to the factor. If you hold down Ctrl and Shift and the left click on this, you will see this preview. A preview of a specific node, in this case ambient occlusion. Here we can change the color, overall look of the color. Let's set it to default. And hold on Ctrl and Shift and left click on the color ramp. With the help of these, we will decide how much of this ambient occlusion we want to see around the edges. You will see here all of the parts. We will see ambient occlusion, but we can play around with it more. So this is how you can change it, but I like to leave it as it is. And then you can play around with the amount of the shadows. So that's up to you how you can use it. I just show you the usage of it. Let's make it just a bit darker so that we see enough shadows around it. And that's perfect. And then now here we will decide the look of our model. So let's hold on Control Shift and click on this principal BSDF to see the final result. By clicking on this white color, we can change it to any color that we want. Since this one is just deciding the overall look, the final look, and this one is just decide the ambient occlusion color. So now we can just change it to any color, and you will see its effects. You should see its effect. You can see it here. Yeah, so this is the ambient occlusion that you can decide, add it anywhere you want. Let's reset it, move it back, and instead make it black or dark. So all of these is possible for you. So let's make it just a bit bigger area. That's perfect. And now let's make it goldish like this. And then we already have these setups, which helps us a lot. So this is how you can create these very interesting actually gold metal. And now we no longer need this shader. So we right click on the border and we join down. So this is what we have got so far. Another thing is that we can play around with the lights. If you like to see this channel improve every day and bring you even more useful and exciting tutorial, I'd be thrilled if you like, subscribe and share your thought with me. It really helps out the channel and ensures you won't miss any future updates. So with that out of the way, let's continue. So you can see that the light collection is here, the edge light, key light and backlight. We will start with the key light. So let's turn off everything and except for the key light. And as well we have the fill light, but the fill light is used by the word. So let's set it to 0 and you will see only the key light. The key light is actually the main light source, create shadows and highlights. Let's turn on viewport overlays and click on extra, and with this way you can see the light. So this light is for the background to lighten up the background, and here we have our key light. And for the lighting, we can actually give that the power. In this case, this is white with 10,000 of power. Let's open up another panel here. I like to set it to a render, and I have a camera. Let's press N. And lock the camera to angle, and then let's turn off all the overlays from here, and now we can just see the final result from here. And here we can just play around with to show you what is what. So this is how the key light looks like. Actually, fill light will come into the action. Let's set it to 2. For these, I used HDRI. Let's go to shader, and then instead of object, we go to word, and then let's press A and click on the dot, You will see I used a decor shop HDRI, and with the help of these I can line them up. Let's set it to, for example, 30, and it will be just change by just playing around with it. We can even animate these in z-axis. نه إذا وایساد دارم صحبت میکنم. We can animate in the z-axis to see it even more professional. Let's keep it as this is. Okay, so let's go back to the 3D viewport, and so this is the second light that we have got, and then we have the backlight. The backlight is actually separates the subject from the background. So backlight is these two very interesting light. The power of those is 500 watt, and I use just the area, nothing else. And we have these two. You can see if I just turn them on and off, you will see the final result, which I will show you. And the last one is the edge light. The edge light is these very tiny lights, and the rim light or the edge light is a specific type of light that outlines the subject. So it creates a very smooth outline around the edges, or the highlights around the edges. So you can actually just add anywhere you like by pressing Shift A, and you go to add light and then choose area light. So that's about this tutorial, and that's it for today's tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any question or feedback, feel free to leave them in the comment below. I love to hear it from you. Once again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It really supports the channel and helps me create more content for you all. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.